All right, we got day 6 of training camp wrapped up. It was the second padded practice here at Levi's, as you can see behind me. We had a lot of stuff going on today. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the quarterbacks, but first, I want to talk about some 1v1s, some offensive and defensive linemen that stood out. We're going to talk about the overall process, how the quarterbacks looked, and everything like that. But I want to mention Trent Williams participated today in one-on-ones. He didn't yesterday. And let me tell you, the best offensive lineman in the world again showed out today. Drake Jackson has been having a phenomenal camp so far. But when you had Trent Williams versus Drake Jackson 1v1, Trent Williams, you know how it goes. He starts toying with guys. You got Drake Jackson trying to do a long arm. Trent just swipes down on his hand. Drake hits the ground. And you know how it goes. Trent Williams makes it look extremely easy. Trent won both of his reps. The other one versus Clelin Ferrell. Trent looks phenomenal. On top of that, you also had Javon Kinlaw, again, having another good practice, winning his reps in 1v1, doing a phenomenal job. You also had some other standouts. Taco Charlton, the new 49er, that was just signed today, won both of his reps, but he did it in a really solid way. You could see he has a complete bag of pass rushing moves. He was putting guys in a blender. Again, he's going up against backup tackles. But one guy he pancaked, and then the other guy he hit with a mean counter inside spin, beat him right away. So Taco Charlton, who was signed today, former first rounder, someone to keep an eye on. I liked what I saw. First day of pads from him. He stepped right in and looked like he'd been here the whole time. So Taco Charlton was a guy that was interesting to watch. Colton McKivitz, phenomenal rep against Drake Jackson in one-on-ones. Colton had Drake trying to hit outside speed, and what Colton did was he didn't open up the gate too soon. He just rode Drake Jackson outside the pocket. And to exemplify how well he won the rep, Trent Williams was hyped. So Colton McKivitz has looked pretty good today, at least in one-on-ones. Now, defense, offensive line, that changed a little bit in team period, and we'll talk about that because there were a lot of sacks today. There were guys getting through on free rushes up the middle on blitzes. There were definitely guys getting home. There was a lot of sacks today. A lot with the backups and things like that, but some of the starters gave up sacks as well. Getting into the quarterbacks, Brock Purdy was 8 of 10, Trey Lance was 4 of 6, Darnold was 2 of 6, Allen 5 for 5. But before we get into their performance, let's give you a kicker update. Jake Moody nailed a 60-yard field goal to end practice today. He had one miss from about 50 or so. But other than that, he hit all his other kicks from 33, 38, and I believe 43. So Jake Moody looks like he could be pulling away in that kicker battle. I do expect Jake Moody to be the kicker of the future for the San Francisco 49ers, and that leg is real. I'm buying the hype on Jake Moody. Let's get into the quarterbacks, I guess, shall we? I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but this was kind of like the Brandon Allen coming out party. He had some really quality throws today, going 4-4 versus team. He had 2 plays back to back. He hit Brandon Ayuk on a deep out, put it right on the money. Then he had another one where it was a deep comeback route to Deebo Samuel in the middle of the field. It was a pretty quality throw, and I really liked what I saw. I mean, Brandon Allen looked sharp today. So that was nice. This was definitely a down day for Sam Darnold. Darnold definitely took a step back after having 2 pretty good practices in a row. I would say today Brock Purdy looked more poised. You can still, I know the word gets thrown around a lot. You hear rust and things like that, but you can tell he's still kind of settling in. And I think the perfect play that exemplifies that was in red zone period. It was a play action boot. And it looked clean, or it wasn't even a boot. It was a drop back. He had pressure, felt the pressure, and it was really reminiscent of Brock Purdy back last year when he was playing, and he would scramble out of the pocket. So he's going to the right, and he's trying to hit someone in the back of the end zone. and the ball just sailed on him out of the end zone. And he was visibly upset. He knew that ball got away from him. But I did like the process of it, but the result, of course, it wasn't a touchdown or anything like that. But I think one of Brock Purdy's best throws on the day actually would have been a sack from Alex Barrett, but he stood in the pocket. He delivered a beautiful pass, is like a drop in the bucket, to Jauan Jennings towards the corner back right pylon. It was a beautiful throw. Again, he wasn't perfect on the day. He got sacked a couple times. One of the sacks, he kind of just threw it, and it was almost an interception. So Brock is definitely still trying to get his bearings, but I would say it was a better performance than it was yesterday. And then Trey Lance, he started off the day with incompletion, another kind of play action rollout, kind of sailed it over the top. He's been missing on those kind of consistently, but overall still a really good day for Trey Lance. He came back. His best throw was a absolute dart to Brandon Ayuk outside the numbers. It was a phenomenal throw. I mean, he just hit his back foot. Again, Trey Lance's best throws are coming when he is decisive. He's planting that foot and the ball is ripping. It was on a line, hit Brandon Ayuk square in between the numbers for about a 20-yard gain. It was a really nice play. So Trey, Brock, pretty good day. Brandon Allen, probably his best day of training camp. And Sam Darnold, not the best. But again, if you've been following along, I've been tweeting basically play-by-play of all the plays today. And there's definitely more that we'll get into when we hop on the live later on. But so far, quarterbacks, again, it's a process, stacking days. Trey stacked a decent day. Wasn't the best day, wasn't the worst day. And then with Brock Purdy, you can see he's starting to settle in a little bit. So overall, quarterbacks, Sam definitely had the worst day out of them all. But again, we're taking it day by day, and we're seeing how it all continues. Have plenty of more updates. We'll get more in depth on the rest as we get on live later today. All right, peace.